Welcome Salty Gamers to week 17 of the account. We're fairly pushing along now. So let's get right into it. Claiming all the free stuff right now. Check the energy levels. Yep, we're okay for energy. So straight into the roster review this time. The poll went up, and those that voted, thank you very much. We've worked on Veteran Han. We brought him up to gear 10, level 80, as requested for him to be the 5th member of our team. And we brought his mods up with him as well, so he's good to go. Maxed out his abilities where I can, minus this one. We're back at 17 million credits, so we're okay on that front. So the whole Ray requirements are all gear 10, level 80. So hopefully it should be a breeze to get through the next journey guide that we're doing. We made fair progress in the last week. We've taken Han from 3 stars to 5 stars and almost into 7 stars. 6 stars. We're still pushing the ship front, so I brought Resistance Pilot up to gear level 70, and this is the next character I'm going to take to gear 10 and level 80. I thought these ones will be the next focus. I've spent the credits to take Poe to 7 stars as well, and the reason I'm taking these as my next focus as opposed to anything else is because they will be pilots in our fleet, so it's worthwhile farming up them and maxing them out. On to Cantina farms. We're still doing Han and Chewie. Hard node farms, we're doing Ray every day, so we'll just do the hard node farms now because we'll do some Cantina battles today. So another 2 shards of the Millennium Falcon. And see how much shards of the Hound's Tooth we could get. None. But stun cuffs are always helpful. On to Lando for the other Millennium Falcon. Another 2 shards today. Happy days. We've got far more shards of Lando though. We're at 120 left of him, and then he's maxed out, so there's that. And then I brought up Amelin Holdo. She's up a wee bit. I like getting to 4 stars because it doesn't cost a lot of credits. It's only 20,000 credits to bring them to 4 stars, and then we get a good 120,000 credits. It's 2 to 3 is 20. Once we're at 4 stars, we get a good number to work towards. It's 250 shards to work for to 7-star them. So we know once we hit that, they're finished, as opposed to trying to fiddle about. It's a nice round number to keep it, and it keeps my head knowing that the farm is now finished. So the shop farms are all finished that we needed, so we're not really farming anything here in the shops. I'll show you what we're doing in the shops in a second. Credit heist, this is still working for what we need them to do. It'll get changed about eventually. Side projects, we're not any further forward apart from we've now got the Tusken Warrior that came out on Thursday. It's still active for a few more days, so if you haven't done the marquee event, it's worthwhile getting, and we will build them up at these stars to see. Eventually what we'll do is we'll build them up for a defensive team and see if we can get holds in Carbonite division of the Grand Arena. So that's why they're in side projects, because I don't want to push all the resources to them just yet. I'm trialing them on alt accounts first to see how well they are. So other teams that we'll be building eventually, I was going to build the SF TIE pilot up to level 80 as well, but we just didn't have the credits, so I left it. Same with upgrading these guys' gear. I want to, but because it's annoying me that there's only 2 pieces left. I don't want to waste any gear at the moment whilst we're pushing the resistance side, because we've got a lot of work there. So all these teams have not changed, have not added anything and not removed anything. On to ships then. We've got Ray's Millennium Falcon, so that was a big project this week, was to bring that up to level 80 and as much gear and levels into all the different points of it. So it's quite a solid ship at the moment, with having 2 pilots at level 80 gear 10 as well. I'm going to favourite Ahsoka because I keep forgetting that we're going to need our ship. So I'll bring our gear up to gear 5 now, our abilities to level 5 at the moment, because this, even the leadership, because it all helps with our ship power. So Ahsoka is going to be the next one of the other ones that I bring up to level 80, and I'll gear 10 her so that she's ready to go in our ship, because we're using our ship. Resistance pilot is the same. Poe will be one of them because we've already unlocked his ship. Still working on his ship as well. We've got 23 shards heading to 5 stars. This is the extra ship that we'll use. It's not a priority, so I'm not pushing to bring this up. It's only for spare energy. And then this one is a must. So these two will be brought up before. Well, maybe before, because I need to relic them. I need them relict, but I don't need them relict. So I might just bring them up enough to pilot the ship. And then there's Holdo. And then Houndstooth, which we'll eventually get to. And then Ebon Hawk, which we're moving towards now. And we'll use Outrider as well, because we'll be building Dash Rendar. And Raven's Claw, because we are also bringing Kel Katarn up. We've got the TIE Silencer, so the secondary fleet, if we can't get Grievous's fleet, because we're not too bad here, we just need to farm the Vulture Droid plus the Hyena Bomber. If we can't get so there's a Hyena Bomber there. If we can't get Grievous's Negotiator anytime soon, what we'll do is we'll push the First Order ships. So we'll go from Resistance to First Order, because we'll also move into, that will help going for Supreme Leader Kylo. So what we'll do is, once we've farmed the ships that we're currently doing for Resistance, we'll move on to farm the ships for the Finalizer as well. Whether we use it or not is neither here nor there. It's a better fleet overall than the Radis fleet, and we should, as we talked about last week, we'll be able to transition into First Order, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Galactic Legend, a lot easier than most because of what we've already been farming. So we should have 2 solid good Galactic Legends. So that's the roster so far, 659,000 galactic power. We hit level 84 2 days ago, so next couple of days, next couple of weeks, sorry, we should hit the level 85 and then the real fun begins. Where we start doing Grand Arenas, and I'll be looking to potentially do Grand Arena streams. So please join the Discord if you can, and that I'll post as much as I can there and have discussions with everybody in there and see if we can get good streams going and build a community up from there. So the challenges have now maxed out for both the droids and the credits, so we're going to have to go through these, see what teams we could use. So we could use Ray's team. And we'll use Dooku as our ally because his buff works with us. So we'll inflict debuffs every time we attack. As such. It looks like we should have no problems getting through this. So you're maybe wondering why I've not taken Finn and Rey up to level 82 and then took them to the next gear level. It'll leave us like bottlenecked in characters. So we'll have one team that's like maxed out, and then other characters that we still need to build. So I'm trying to bring teams up to a certain point and then go back to them. They're working how they are, so there's no reason to change it. Yes, well, and plus when we hit level 85, then I might go back and put them to 85, so I could get them gear 12 and then start pushing relics on them. So we'll use a guild member's ally as an ally this time round. Shout out to Cal, he's doing some good work in the guild. Hitting high numbers on the raid so far. I'll show you the overall guild stuff after these battles so you can see how the guild's getting on. We had a new member join our guild, a high member that's a high GP member that's come in to help us out with doing content, which is much appreciated. I think I mentioned him last week. So we've just started our first heroic Sith raid, and so the guild's just starting to get Treya shards in. I got some Treya shards on this account from the previous guild, but it's good to know that the guild will be bringing up people to get Treya, because Treya's quite a good character on her own. Definitely a keystone in the rosters, any roster. So there we go, training droids done. All challenges complete. On to mods then. So what I'm doing is farming these on separate days. So health on a Monday, then Tuesdays for defence, followed on by Wednesday for crit chance, then offense, and then potency and speed. And where needed, on a Sunday I might do some tenacity if I've got none, but not a lot of characters need it. And then if I'm either that, or I'll upgrade or sell slice mods where we can. I don't think I've done the slicing challenges, not the challenge, the slicing battles on the mod battles yet. No, so I've still got to work through the slicing mods. So for the now we'll do tenacity on a Sunday and back to health on a Monday. On to the guild then. So we're at 34 million GP. We have 50 members. Get in there with the levels. A lot of players now in the 70s upwards, and some pushing into the 60s. Pushing for that 65. Go for the last activity just to see what we're like. So we've got a couple members that can come out. That's an alt account of mine. So we've got a few members that will be kicked if we get interest, or when I cleanse through the guild of members that aren't playing. 2 weeks I think is reasonable, unless I've spoke with them or they spoke to me and said that they're going away on holiday, etc. Then that's fair enough. So we're in the... I also check here to see who's actively, not too much, but who's actively joining raids as well, to see if, one, if the raid schedule's working, and two, if they're actually active, not just logging in, but active within the guild. So this is one of my alt accounts. It's doing not too bad. And then we've got this account which got a measly 14,000, and then my mate's account, and then other accounts. These lower numbers, it's always worth getting, even zeros, because if you only have one 7-star character, it doesn't matter. It's worth doing it because it helps get rewards. Now these are some of the better rewards in the guild raids at the moment, because we get a lot of currency and we've got treasure shards. So we've currently got 84, so we're roughly halfway. We get a lot of credits, but then if you look in here, this is the real good reason why we do these raids. This is the harder part of the grind to get all these materials. It takes a long time. So the sooner you can build this up, the better. So if you wish to join our guild, the link is in previous videos. If you go back to them, right at the very start, I introduced it. The name's up on the screen. Feel free to find me, ping me a message if you want to join, and I'm sure I'll be able to make space. So do the stores now, and I'll discuss our farming strategy in the stores. So I've got 45,000 tokens. I've just not been able to do the auto clicker, but I sometimes use, it's not advised to spend them on stuff in the store, but sometimes I find it worthwhile if it gives me gear 13 mats. Even if it's only 5, it's 5 more than I didn't have. So we finished off Stormtrooper Han, and now we're pushing Qui-Gon Jinn. We get him to 330 shards, and the reasoning behind that is we need to build our Jedi team up. We're going to have Ahsoka built up, so let's build a team. I'm going to build a team to go with Ahsoka, Qui-Gon, Anakin, because Anakin's at 6 stars as he is. Qui-Gon, Anakin, Ahsoka, and then 2 other Jedi. Mace Windu, and one other Jedi, which will probably be Yoda to begin with. So in here, we're not really buying anything out of here, apart from Dengar, because we're going to need him eventually as part of the bounty hunters, and some unique characters mainly that we're buying out of here, such as Young Han will build up. I'm just not convinced I want to use him yet. Jury's still out on that. Who's going to fit into that squad? Thinking easy farms, etc. I know I am going to use Vandor Chewy, but he's not a priority. I'd rather spend it on Carbantes and stuff like that, have a wee bit of a bank to buy this sort of gear when we need it, as opposed to just buying it because I've got the currency there. Because the currency isn't, even though it's our own guild and we're getting through the raids, it's not as quick as the other guild that we were in that was simming the raids, but that's going. Simmed raids is going away soon, so we need to get used to a slower pace of raids. So in here then we're building, we had finished Princess Leia, and we finished Newt Gunray. So the next one that we're moving on to is Mace Windu. So every time that I've got some shards, I'll hit Mace Windu. Into the Galactic War. Store, we're really only building the ships that we need, and every so often I'll just put 10 shards of Cad Bane in so that we could finish him off. Into the fleet store then, I saved the currency just in case this time round. So we're pushing on Resistance X-Wing, which I forgot to mention in the fleet part. We're at 6 stars. Still buying TIE Fighter and Grievous where we can, because they don't come around very often. Sunfac as well. So the only reason I didn't go for TIE Advance there was because right at this stage, Sunfac's ship is harder to come by, and it's the lower starred ship that we've got in the fleet now, so I prioritise that. Grievous comes in once every so often, so he gets some shards, and before any other ships, the ones that we need for the Radis get done first. Onto the guild currency then. So if you're going for Jedi Knight Luke or Jedi Master Luke as a Galactic Legend, you must prioritise as much of your get one onto these two characters because they're needed, and it takes a long time to farm for that particular character. If you're not farming for that character, and you're farming, for example, Malik or General Skywalker, when you're ready to get him, Malik or Skywalker, then farm up as much of the currency as you can prior to it, so you can, because this is where you get the extra 2 stars worth of shards, so you need approximately 185 shards after it, so you would need to buy them out of here. So that's worth it. Yeah. Other than that, if you see ships that you're farming, buy them. Characters that you're farming, buy them. But more importantly, stuff like stun cuffs and Carbantes, is and any of the purple gear most of the time is worth it. Even sometimes these if you're running short on them. So onto the shard shop then. I'm just slowly building currency up here. We're on 524. So again, same idea in here. If there's certain gear, so the gear 13 stuff hasn't come out yet until we get to level 85. But at the moment, if there's stuff that the characters are needing and it's in here like this, if we're actively building them and we need the gear, like everybody needs these, then I would potentially buy them like this, because that's a full piece there. Same with this one, it's full piece, and a lot of the characters that we're building need it. So BB-8, the First Order ones, Resistance Pilot, all need it, so it's worthwhile getting. So that's a guild strategy and shop strategy. And my blue stacks has frozen, so give me a second. Okay, BlueStacks is just loading back up. I might have to clear the cache again. So BlueStacks doesn't come from the game's developer. It's a totally separate software. So I've made about 4,000 in, well, I've made, it's 3 days. So in 3 days I made 4,000 as an average. So 20,000 is approximately 2 weeks, give or take, I'm going to need to get to level 85. Arena then, we're in the top, under the 1,000 mark for the squad arena, so it's guaranteed 400 shards, and fleet arena we're in the top 200, so 1,200 currency, slowly pushing up there. Galactic battles, I don't think I actually completed it this time, nope, so I still need to do that, go all the way through it. So the way Galactic War works, which I figured out on all accounts, which is actually extremely lucky, is so long as I don't restart it, I could do this whole table till I finish it. If I get stumped at a node, then oh well. Once I get through however much I can get through, that's fine. Then I restart it. You could do it over 2 days, so long as you complete, you don't. If I was to go here, leave it like this, and not do it today, and then go to do it tomorrow, then I'll have lost a whole table worth of Galactic War. So that's a way, if you're struggling for time, you can do it. And just really watch the restart for that. And then once you're level 85, it doesn't matter, just hit the multi-sim and you're good to go. So I've got 2 Galactic Wars to do today. I'll get them done at some point. We've farmed our fleet energy. We're not any changes in the fleet energy or in the fleet challenges. So unfortunately we're not farming those Zetas that we so desperately will need, because we need Executrix to levels to 5 stars. So once we build these up a wee bit more, we'll be able to use them. I mean, once we've got Bosk, the game will be easy, the strips will be a lot easier as well. So that's that. Events, we couldn't quite get through. We got through this at 2 stars. So we got some decent rewards for the first time round, because we have First Order and Emperor Palpatine or Vader. So we managed it that way. We can't do this one yet. It doesn't give great reward. Well, no, sorry, it does give great rewards. We really need to. These ones will be extremely worthwhile doing if we could farm shards of these 2 continuously. So we need to pick up either we go for Ghost, or we push, once we hit 85 we'll push Houndstooth anyway, and we'll be farming Nevin Hawk soon. So between them and these 2 we'll get our 3, and then they only need to be at 3 stars, so that's not too bad. So our best bet would probably be, for speed, might be Ibn Hawk. If we could get to that node, and then if we go once we unlock Ibn Hawk, we can start doing these, which will speed up the farm on these. Is this first time rewards? No. So you just get, where is it? So you only need to be level 65, gear 7, so it's not too bad. Easy done. And it's just a random amount of shards from each of them. So we could do at least the first couple, we'll be laughing. And it doesn't matter if you 3-star them, because you still need to do them each and every time. And then if we could get these 2 ships dropping consistently on both nodes, that's 5, that's a guaranteed 5 per one. It doesn't come along very often, but it will help massively in getting our Radis complete. So that's that event. There's the marquee event. We've got just under 5 days left, and then we've got the good old Galactic Challenge as well. Ghosts of Dathomir coming up, and I'm really interested to see if we could do this today. Galactic Bounties. We could get some Holdo shards, so we'll use that for that if we could do that. These characters are alright as well. Visa, Emphas Nest. But we'll focus on Amelin because that takes away from energy shard farming. Where possible, my advice would be, if you're farming a character and you could get guaranteed shards or better drop rate of shards than doing hard node farming, then do it. If you have to buy a few shards in the shop instead of something else, but you're using that character, get them out the shop. For example, when I was farming Stick Ray or Scavenger Ray, she turned up in the Galactic Cantina, no, not Cantina, the Guild currency store every so often. Buying her there sped that up massively. That was 10 shards that I didn't need to worry about trying to get on hard mode farms. So that's that. So that's the overall review. Now into some gameplay. We'll see how far we can go with 123 energy. On the Cantina, we've got 2 nodes left here, and then we've unlocked this as well because we're over level 83 now. Whether or not we can get through it, that's a different matter. So pick our ally again. So when I'm ally picking, I'm looking for one that will do the most benefits, like this one. We'll get Poe going. No, we're not taking him, we're taking BB-8. So we're all good here. If we can't get through the nodes in 8, the last stage of the Cantina, then we will push all our Cantina energy back into farming Han. So Starkiller Ray, unfortunately she's not a character. That was basically a character between Scavenger Ray and Jedi Training Ray that we're going to unlock. We've unlocked Darth Talon node now, which is good because we will farm hard eventually and build our Sith team up. So let's see here. Obi-Wan. So Darth Talon's a node that we'll need to farm for Starkiller. That's just personal preference, you know, if you stun somebody, take out the rest of the team that can hit you. If they can't hit you, they can't hurt you, and you win. Right, so Cantina 7's finished. No shards of Darth Talon, no, that's a shame. But now we're on to node 8. So I think it is this node that we need to get to. Because this node is relic mats. Ebon Hawk and Carthonasi. Relic mats, relic mats. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which works out at 80 energy, so as long as we can complete each battle, we should be good just to get to it and no more. Use Dooku because the same reason as before. When he has, when he's in that slot, he's a leader, so he gives us the debuffs. So far so good. Elder first, Daka second. That's okay, that's Dooku. As long as our team survive, we're okay. Got to trust in the plan, trust in the plan. Oh, nope, okay. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to get through these nodes quite yet. So, in saying that gives me the incentive to now gear up. This team a wee bit further. To be fair, they might be better when they're 7 stars, so we can come back to it then. Because it gets progressively harder as we go, so let's just check Finn. So Finn can go up to year 11. So let's just take him up to 84 then out, since he was the one that died. And there we go, it's gear 11 now, which means that we could also technically Zeta him. Let's see, if an enemy is damaged by a resistance ally, for each expose on them, expose on them, that enemy loses 5% turn meter for each resistance ally. All resistance allies gain 3% turn meter for each resistance ally, and their cooldowns are reduced. I'm not sold 100% if I want to use that just yet. So if that's the case, let's take Ray up 2 levels. Again, be conservative with the credits and the training droids. It was meant to be 2. Okay, 8. I misplayed there. She needs to go up to 85. So she could get 2 levels. It was this that she needed. Whenever Ray uses a special ability, if she has no debuffs, she inflicts days for 2 turns. That's pretty poor Zeta in my opinion. What does he need to be? 84, 81, 83, 81, 81. So he could go up to 84. That's him gear 11. And then Han, I guess because he's in the team, he could go to 84 as well. And then his unique is whenever Han gains any status effect, he gains 50% armor penetration stacking until his next turn. That is a terrible Zeta. Offense duration +1. For the cost of that, unless you're absolutely stored out on Zetas, I wouldn't even take it. Same with this one. So they 3 Zetas, if anything, we would take Finn Zeta. We don't have the mats now to take BB-8, but if we struggle again, we'll take BB-8 up. He attacks out of turn, so we'll get that. And but what we'll do, we'll take him to gear level 82. Even though we can't Zetas, unfortunately, so I'm not going to take the abilities either because they're all Zetas, and I'm not wanting to use my last Zeta mats on these droid allies. See, this one's terrible for him. I have during this team when BB attacks out of turn, he calls a random resistance ally to assist. That might be worthwhile overall. We'll see how often I'll monitor how often he attacks out of turn. If it's feasible, I might Zeta him, but at this stage I'm not going to. So we're now level 80,000 power. And Chewie's currently as high as he can go until he gets 7 starred. Oofed. Ray got hit extremely hard there. So that was one exposed. We'll also need to monitor how much exposes we get. We might be worthwhile doing Finn's Zeta. So, no, I thought it was Jedi Training Ray, but it's not, it's just Star Killer Ray. So she's going to go next, so stun it. I might have just done the trick. So we're getting a fair few exposes. It might be worth Zeta on Finn. So I'll just check the now if there's any better Zetas on the resistance side. So bear with me. Another resistance loses foresight, hold roll gains taunt. Poe has 25%, recovers 7.5% health and resistance. Net. So the hero Poe and Finn might be worthwhile getting. On the flight, me, it's not too good. So, because we're not in an abundance of Zetas, I'll put a poll up again because, you know, I love my polls. Because this is not just my account, it's a journey that all my viewers are taking with me from the start to the finish, whenever the finish may be. Got an itchy eye now. So the poll will consist of which Zeta to get, and it's only for the resistance heroes that we're currently going to use in our Galactic Legend journey. So it will put up a poll to see, out of the two, should we get Jedi Training Ray's Insight Zeta or Finn's Leadership as our first resistance side Zeta. Okay, continue on to the Cantina. So overall, Stormtrooper Han will help the most. Well, saying you'd help the most, so that was once with BB-8. BB-8 attacked out of turn once. No, there we go. That's as far as we're getting at this stage. Till we star them up a wee bit more. We'll finish it off just to unlock the node. Well, I'm saying that we've lost most of our guys now. And on that defeat, that will be as far as we go. So back to 5 and then use the rest of the energy up on getting Han. 49 shards, so we're back farming Han. Can't quite get any further forward here, but that's okay. We'll get there eventually. Always good, as they say. So, let's wrap up then. Firstly, please hit like and subscribe. The channel just helped me out. You'll hear it 1,001 times through all our all the YouTubers that you watch. So, but it does help, especially for myself that needs to build the fan base to help produce more content, because if I can get more subscribers I will be able to do this full time. Ideally that's a goal of mine, would be just to do videos full time. So please like, dislike, comment and interact with the community poll please. That helps out a lot for the guidance of the account. I'd like to pull knowledge from other players of the game as well, where possible. So, quick recap, we went over the roster, we're level 84, we failed at the Cantina 8, but we'll push further forward once we get the Jedi Training requirements up to 7 stars, we should be able to clear it. For plans for next week then, or for then next week, continue on farming Han and Chewie to 7 stars, and we'll bring Ahsoka. Actually, let's just do that now. So she needs to go to 73 for our first tier. And then 80 for year 10. So we're on I'm now on a credit ban, and I'm not going to be spending much credits on anything else for a while, because we've just broke the 10 million mark. Let's just bring our abilities up to suit. This is only because we use a ship, so we need the ships as strong as possible so we can push them as much as we can. So we're on 9 million now, so we're on a credit ban pretty much now until we get Jedi Training Rey. I'll not spend any more credits on building anybody else up, unless there's a credit heist between now and then, so we could then bring up other characters and get a lot more credits, because I don't want to get to a point where we're waiting on credits coming in. So I could unfavourite Ahsoka because she's where I want her at the moment for the pilot. So we'll focus on getting these guys to 7 stars, and that is the main goal. Next week then, what to look forward to will be, we'll try, if we're not got the 7 star requirements for, I'll favourite Finn as well actually. Even though it comes with the territory, we will favourite Finn. So the first 3 that we're going to do is farm the these 3. 7-star them. If we cannot get them to 7 stars, which is probably highly unlikely in a week because we didn't quite finish Veteran Han, then we will do some mod battles next week. Mod battles being these ones into 9, see how much of these we could do with the current setup that we've got. If it's rubbish and we can't get through them, then we know where we're at. We'll have a quick look at the journey guide and see if there's anything in here that we could do. We're also waiting on the Jedi training raid requirements coming up. So we've just still got a 7-star Yoda. Palpatine's done. We could technically take, if we had the credits, we could take these Phoenix up to level 82 and finish off Thrawn, but we don't need to do them right now, and it'll cost more credits to take them up to where we need them than we have currently in. We don't have any of the Mandalorian requirements. Padme, we don't quite have these requirements yet. We've still got to farm these 2 up to 7 stars plus BB-8 R2, so we don't have the requirements. So yeah, no journey guide unfortunately that we could do in the meantime. So it'll be mod battles next week, and just if we're still not done, it'll be reviews from there if we can't get any further forward. So it might be in the next couple of weeks that it's a lot shorter in videos. If you prefer shorter video, quick reviews or actual gameplay, or if you want to see the Galactic War, where we are at now and how we get through it now, please let me know in the comments and I will see what I can do. On that note, stay salty and I'll catch you on the next one.